As he wins the Luke Up Racing 200. And it can't get to the inside. Dane Cruz is there as they come through the tri-oval. Jeffrey Armistead is going to win the iRacing.Funny 250. Mayor's going to block, coming down to it at the line. It's going to be, I think, Dylan Parker's going to go back-to-back. He will win here at Darlington. And Luke Nupp is going to be a winner in the Slide Job Racing League for the first time. He scores first time in his career. Blaze McKinney is a winner in the Slide Job Racing League. He takes the victory here at Kansas.
Across the line, Dalton Kilroy is your winner.
Jonathan Parker scores the victory, and more importantly, he scores the Season 10 championship here in the Slide Job Racing League. And we are live here at Daytona International Speedway, where tonight the Slide Job Racing League roars into the road course format here for their second trip to this famed facility. Tonight, it is the Kevin Conway Grand Prix for the Slide Job Racing League Season 11. It's going to be a fun one here tonight. Dawson Allen on the call, as always, joined by my broadcast colleague, Mr. Josh Carbonell. Josh, it should be exciting. Our first road course venture here in Season 11. What are you looking forward to as these drivers get ready to turn left and right tonight? Yeah, it should be interesting to see, but looking at our practice times, I think we got a good eye on some of these guys that are going to be road course ringers. Of course, currently fastest on track, Jonathan Parker. Where is he not fast? This 48 machine always finding a way to be up front in the mix of things here. As I just realized Josh was muted for that entire time, so I apologize for that, Josh. You were you were speaking into the void in my ear, not everybody else's ear. But Josh, you mentioned that guys that are normally out front may not be out front and vice versa. So go back over that and kind of just who you got your eyes on here. You're seeing as we practice currently going on now with just about under 4 minutes to go.
I have my eye on a guy like Austin McGill. I mean, he runs up front consistently, really anywhere. But I think road courses really play into his favor here. He's currently third on the practice charts. So I think McGill could steal one here and take the race win. Another guy that's always up front, Dylan Parker, a little bit further down the standings in practice, but he's another really good racer on these road courses. I remember just last season, Circuit of the Americas, him and Sartaj Man put on one heck of a show. Sartaj Man ended up coming out the winner of that one. But then, Dylan Parker went on and won the next road course. So, I mentioned some guys that run in the back could, be up front this race. I just mentioned two guys that run up front weekly anyway. But, those are guys that I really think are going to play a factor into this race, being kind of road course ringers.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about Dylan Parker, he is the most recent winner on a road course here in the Slide Job Racing League. But somebody else that I've got my eye on here, got a new face here tonight, making his debut in the Slide Job Racing League. How about Jonathan Oates? He is in the 073. Of course, it shows up as the 73 on the car. You'll see it just a blank space next to his name for the number. But that number 73 machine, he is currently second fastest here in his debut race. Not a lot of people may know Jonathan Oates, but a lot of people, if you're in kind of the iRacing community, you might know him pretty well. Of course, very, you know, big league that he is a part of, the OSRL Racing, the OSRL League. Let me get my words together. But he's racing here tonight for the first time in his first start here for the Slide Job Racing League. Second fastest on the board as it stands right now. Keep your eyes on this 073. He might be able to slip in there and steal a win from these full-time drivers.
Other thing, Dawson, is road courses, we know we're more than likely to see a caution. Now, I have seen one league ever that I broadcasted where the admins will throw a caution for a wreck on a road course, and it just happens to be this league right here, Slide Job Racing League. But I'm not expecting to see a caution. I expect to see this go green all the way to the end.
Yeah, and the other mention too, I mean, it's a 60-minute time limit race. This is not going to be a lap count race like we've seen before. This will be a timed race. So definitely an interesting wrinkle in this race. There's your points leader right now, looped up. Currently fourth fastest on the charts at a 1:48.028. He is looking to see if he can keep this stretch going of success here in the series. To see if Michael Kruger get into it there. Going around there. And, oh, there's Oscar Enriquez as well. But Luke Nupp, of course, last week, a 10th place finish. Would likely could have been more if not for some earlier incidents, but still able to rebound and recover. Michael Walls, of course, last week's winner at Nashville, currently 20th fastest on the speed charts for Michael Walls. Looking to see if he can continue to build some momentum here with that first win here, or the second win, career win in the Slide Job Racing League. We'll have to keep our eyes on that one and see how things shake up. But practice is over. Jonathan Parker, Jonathan Oates, Saucin J. McGill, Luke Nupp, Dylan Parker, the top 5 fastest cars. We will see how they stack up this go round here as we get ready to qualify here tonight. As mentioned, Kevin Conway Grand Prix. See what this race will hold for the drivers as it's open qualifying. Everybody got to go out on track at the same time. You see Michael Kruger is the first one to roll off of pit lane, wanting to get that advantage of having that clean track out ahead of him. You see back behind, looks like Christian Pacheco. That is Jeffrey Armistead, Brett Bennett, and Blaine Sparling rolling off of pit lane all together. You'll see them make their way through the International Horseshoe. We'll head down to the kink. There is that number 81 right there. And then through the kink they go into the Western Horseshoe, just over here, this other horseshoe that they'll make their way through. And once they make their way through this section of the course, you'll see them barrel their way to that left-hand turn to bring them back onto the NASCAR oval. So we follow along here. There's Michael Kruger popping up into NASCAR turn number 1. And they will fan their way back out down here onto the back straightaway. And we'll see this long shot here from Oval 3 of the field rumbling their way towards that back straightaway bus stop. Josh, that's going to be a tricky spot for a lot of these drivers, getting it back down this long back straightaway, heading for that bus stop.
Yeah, a lot of braking used there, and it is going to be very tricky. You don't want to wheel hop in there. You don't want to get on the brakes too late. You also don't want to really get on the brakes too early. So, just so much going on trying to enter the bus stop. Excuse me, back there. These drivers, one thing I love about road courses, it really forces you to try to be as perfect as possible.
Absolutely. You know, it's all about being on that fine line of being perfect and making that one mistake that can cost you the race. And that's going to be the fun factor in it all. But, you know, that long back to Christian Pacheco, the 88, spinning behind Michael Kruger there in the international horseshoe as they make their way down into the kink here. But, you know, we're going to see it tonight. You know, just it's going to be a struggle all night long for some of these drivers to kind of make these moves. But the big thing that I want to point out here is the track layout itself. Now, we could talk about the horseshoes, the kink, the bus stop all we want, but notice that that's where we cut it off. There is no front stretch chicane on this track like NASCAR used for their layout. So they're going to have a full head of steam when they head towards turn one. What do you think that's going to do for some of these drivers and having to get on the brakes as hard as they can to make that first turn?
Honestly, I don't know. I actually really got excited when I found out this was the layout they're going to use. Personally, for me, I was never successful with the NASCAR layout. I don't even know if I've ever completed a lap on the NASCAR layout, and I've tried. You know, it's not just from never actually attempting it. I've tried, and it's tough. So, you know, here, you know, pretty much, once you get off turn 4, you immediately start braking, and you know, just to try to get on the front stretch chicane. It isn't there. I mean, you know, so like you said, these drivers are barreling in. I just watched the speeds there. Michael Kruger was 190 coming across the line, and now he's going in the 60s, just getting around through turn 1. So, I mean, it is a huge difference, and you know, again, I think of it like the backstretch chicane. You know, you don't want a wheel hop going in there.
Blocks it up, but I was going to say, while you were in the middle of that little tirade there, notice that Michael Kruger did not post a lap time. He was unable to complete a clean lap with a 0x, and that is why he does not have a lap time yet. But you see right here, current fastest Austin J. McGill, his last pole on a road course came in Season 9 at Sonoma. So he is looking to see if he can catch another pole here in tonight's running. Austin J. McGill navigating his way here through that inner section of the road course. Excuse me, words are getting mixed up here. But he is looking for his 5th career pole here if he's able to get it tonight. Of course, his last pole coming earlier this season at Auto Club. Looking for his 2nd of the season, 5th career pole. Right now in a good spot with the fastest time and about 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in this qualifying session.
Well, one thing about having group qualifying like this, I'm still watching Michael Kruger. I don't know, you know, where the camera is right now, but still watching Michael Kruger. Just ahead of him, Chris Pacheco and Luke Nupp were side by side just ahead of him. You know, so the thing about open qualifying like this, where everybody's on the track, is, you know, we mention it a lot in qualifying anyway, is if you even just so much as to 0x, your lap gets invalidated. And, you know, so just, I mean, so much as to touching a car, bumping a car, just, you know, it could affect your lap. And so, you know, it's really interesting to watch how these drivers navigate through some other drivers that may not be good at road courses, how they're able to navigate through them to set some qualifying times down.
But a big thing, too, for some of these drivers, you'll notice we have 11 drivers who have been able to successfully set a lap time, make it 12 now with the addition of Jeffrey Armistead. It may seem kind of bad to think, oh, you know, I posted the 12th fastest lap time out of 12 drivers, but you got to realize something. That means that there are only 12 drivers to fully set a lap. That's a good advantage to be starting up near the front here at a road course to get that advantage of starting ahead of people. I think it's an advantage. And, you know, for guys like Jeffrey Armistead, Christian Pacheco, Gabe Cazzola, they weren't the fastest laps. They were a minute 50, a minute 51 compared to the current pole time of a minute 47. But that is still ahead of guys like Michael Kruger, Michael Thorpe Jr., Brett Bennett, Ethan Fonseca Moreno have yet to set lap times. So, names like that haven't set lap times, while these guys have got times that are currently putting them right at the top 10. That's huge when it comes to this race getting ready to start.
And you mentioned it, Dawson. This race is only an hour long. That's not 60 minutes. It's not a long time in a race at all. We're used to watching these guys race for a couple of hours. So for some of these guys that have to then work their way through some of the field, if they don't get a qualifying lap down, it could really affect their race. It could really hurt them in this case. So, getting yourself a lap time down, not having to work your way up through the traffic, it's going to be an advantage tonight, especially only 60 minutes of racing.
It's going to be about track position, where you can put yourself at the end of this race. So we'll keep our eyes on it. Right now, Michael Kruger crossing the start-finish line. I do not know if he'll get a lap time that time, because I think he might have gotten the back of Christian Pacheco. If he does, so minute 49 is the time, but it's not going to count. That would have put him, there goes Jonathan Parker now to the pole position, taking it away there. I bet minute 49, 4:20 that last time by 4. Michael Kruger would have put him in the now 8th position, 9th position, excuse me, now is where he would have been if that qualifying lap had counted. But again, he's still not able to put a time down. We got 16 drivers who have set a lap. Michael Kruger is not one of them. He is doing his best to get up there, but just can't quite get it done. Top 5 as it stands right now with a minute to go. Jonathan Parker, Austin J. McGill, Luke Knupp, Jonathan Oates, Dylan Parker. Just about the same top 5 we had in practice, just a little jumbled up.
The other thing, Dawson, I estimate this race with some of the lap times that we have seen. I estimate this race to be about 33 to 35 laps long. I could be wrong on that. It's just quick math for the math nerds out there.
We love the math nerds.
Yeah. But, I think that's right where we're going to be at. So far for Michael Kruger, I'm still watching him, and this lap has looked so much cleaner. But I don't think there's going to be enough time. 3 seconds left. He's exiting off of NASCAR 4.
Now, it should give them a little grace period. They'll get a chance to complete the lap time if they're on track. Michael Kruger puts down a minute 48.8 to put himself 8th at the last second. We still got a couple drivers left on track, including currently now 4th fastest Jonathan Oates, looking to see if he can improve his time. He's trending on the upwards compared to his best time. We'll see what he gets when he crosses the stripe. He goes a 1:47.079. He takes the pole. At the last second, he'll take the pole. Last car on track is going to be Don Blazier. Looks like he's going to pull it off. So that will do it for qualifying. Talk about a last-second turn of events there. What a drive.
Well, it looks like we have about a minute and 10 left that, we're going to see for a grace period. Nobody's on track.
Well, technically, Don Blazier is still on track. But it looks like he should be getting ready to tow. He's just sitting there on the apron. You can see him in the blimp shot right down there. He is currently just hanging out down there. So we'll show you really quick.
There are a lot of drivers hanging out in their pit stalls, though.
Look really hard right down there. That's where Don Blazier is currently hiding. Not really moving. He's just kind of down there, but yeah. But you can kind of see this overhead shot, this beautiful road course layout we've got here as they have to make their way through those horseshoes, as they're called, and make their way back out onto the road course. So it'll be exciting to see. But while we're at a race period, let's take a look at your starting lineup here for the Kevin Conway Grand Prix tonight. Starting on the pole with that last second lap time to steal it away, Jonathan Oates starting in P1. To his outside will be the 48 of Jonathan Parker. Austin J. McGill and Luke Knupp make up row number 2. Then you see Dylan Parker and Ethan Fonseca Moreno occupying row 3. Row 4 sees a set of Michaels, Thorpe Jr., and Kruger. And row 5 running at your top 10. How about Blaine Sparling and Noah Mayuri with those top 10 qualifying spots?
Starting in 11th is going to be Christian Pacheco with Michael Walsh is outside in 12th. Doug Denise will start in 13th. Caden Atkins, 14th. Jeffrey Armistead will start in 15th. Gabe Cazola in 16th. Jeff Wimmer starts 17th. Brett Bennett in 18th. Oscar Enriquez will start 19th. And Robert Lukens will start 20th.
And the rest of the field here. See there, Don Blazier, Jake Scarborough in row 11. Row 12, Ricky Hudgens and Sean Kissany. Set of Fords there, JT Larson, Darren Roy in row 13. And rounding out your field here tonight, William Turnbull. Gonna finish us out in 27th. 27 cars are on the grid. Josh, who do you got winning this thing?
Oh, sorry about that, Doss. You caught me in the middle of a sneeze. I'm going to go with the guy that's starting in P3, Austin J. McGill. I've had my eye on him since practice, and, he's looking really good in practice, looked really good in qualifying. Austin J. McGill, I think he's going to get it done tonight. He is known as a road course ringer as well.
You take McGill. I'll take the guy that's starting just behind him, Dylan Parker, in the 3 machine. Of course, the most recent winner of a road course race here in the Slide Job Racing League. I think Dylan Parker is going to go back-to-back here in these road course races. And he will win tonight's Kevin Conway Grand Prix. Let's take a look at your race analysis for tonight's event. You see, it is going to be a whopping grand total of 2,147,483,647 laps for a total mileage count of, give me 1 second, 7,592,645,385 miles. A race of attrition here tonight. The race length is an hour. The fuel window, you're asking the wrong guy. Track temperature right now, 83 degrees with clear skies on this cool Daytona night. The chances of rain are 0 for the first time in Florida history as we get ready to roll here tonight.
My brain hurts after all that, all those numbers.
Numbers are hard and they hurt, but that's okay. So we mentioned it's an hour race. The estimate currently from ATVO, our timing screen and scoring bugs, are all saying about 34 laps for this event. We'll see if it's right when we cross the checkered flag for the first time, or for the final time here tonight. Excuse me. So Jonathan Oates, Jonathan Parker make up row number 1. It's a double John front row as they make their way through the tri-oval. We are going racing at the Daytona Road Course. The Kevin Conway Grand Prix is underway, racing at Daytona. Hard on the brakes to make turn 1. Jonathan Oates is going to escape with the lead. The battle for second now between Luke Knupp and Jonathan Parker. Parker gives it up quick, and Luke Knupp looking to take advantage, and now all over the back bumper of the 73.
Oh, Dylan Parker's going to make contact with Jonathan Parker. Jonathan Parker's around.
They get it back straight. Still spinning. Darren Roy in the background, and I believe Jake Scarborough. Taking a look back, that is not what we want to see. We'll take Quick look again here as they entered through the racing surface here. Dylan gets in kind of hot, just it's right in the back of the 48. Somehow they get it back straight. Noah Mary had to go through the grass to miss it as well, but they are still going here. Battle for the 4th position. Looks like Ethan Fonseca Moreno looking to get by Michael Thorpe Jr. As they make their way to the back straightaway, Jonathan Oates still has a lead over Luke Knupp, and now Austin J. McGill in 3rd. Next, another driver struggling. Jeff Weimer in the 73 has spun on the exit of the bus stop, looking to get it back fired up and rolling here. He's going to drop to currently last on track, which would be 24th at the line that time. First lap will be led by Jonathan Oates. Here comes Austin J. McGill, though, peeking to the inside of Luke Knupp, going for 2nd. And he's going to take it. What a pass by Austin J. McGill.
Yeah, it was pretty quick pass. McGill has his sight set on Oates now.
Spinner over in turn 1. It's Brett Bennett. No shock there. Take a look at the replay. We got another driver spinning right now. Christian Pacheco is spun out.
Yeah, he stinks.
Looks like Jeffrey Armistead might have had some issue as well. We'll take a look back at what happened to Mr. Pacheco in the back of Kay Nackings. Spins it out. He was able to get it back rolling here. Lots of carnage, lots of chaos in the early goings, but Jonathan Parker up to 11th, making his charge back through the field. He's going to have a lot of work cut out for him if he wants to get up in this battle for the lead, which is ongoing now between Jonathan Oates and Austin J. McGill.
Yeah, Oates pulled away right after the first horseshoe. But McGill got a great run after the second horseshoe, then onto the NASCAR Oval. A little bobble there coming out of the bus stop. Going to help Oates pull away here. But McGill, he looks pretty good in that infield section. Slow car, Doug Denise coming out of the bus stop.
See right there, Ricky Hudson's going to go by. We'll take a look and see. Oh, yeah, got turned on the exit of the bus stop. See it right here. Missed it a little bit. Gets it sideways. See, Don Blazier was in the wall ahead of him. Blazier back to 20th now. Battle ongoing between he and Darren Roy. This battle for the lead still not over yet. McGill trying to run it wide in the corner and cut it back down on exit to get there. He's trying, but can't quite get it. We got another spin. Jeffrey Armistead spun in the horseshoe. Over in the international horseshoe, that 0-2 goes around. But here comes McGill trying to go for the race lead.
Not only is McGill there, Knupp is still there, and Thorpe has entered the picture as well.
Making about a 4-car battle here, as Thorpe is now slowly but surely caught up to this battle. Brett Bennett with another slow lap. I don't know what happened, but it doesn't shock me to say that Brett Bennett's having a slow lap here. Meanwhile, battle is going on for 10th. It's Jonathan and Dylan Parker. Jonathan will get the upper hand on the 3 machine and crack back into this top 10. But up front, battle between Oates and McGill still all right between each other. Luke Knupp and Michael Thorpe Jr. have closed in. Currently 5th place, Ethan Fonseca Moreno is well back by a couple seconds. Ooh, Thorpe sent it in there to catch up to this battle. Now might have a chance to go for 3rd.
McGill to the outside of Oates, entering that international horseshoe. Going to try to cut to the inside, just not able to. Oates going to pull away. One thing I'm noticing is McGill is
ooh, off the track. Caden Atkins sliding through the international horseshoe on the outside. Somehow gathers it back up, doesn't get in the wall, gets it back going, but back to 15th. Didn't mean to cut you off, Josh, but we have got so much action all over this racetrack.
This is the worst part about road courses is, you know, it's so hard to find a place to actually watch. So much going on all at once. I say the worst part for commentators. It's actually pretty exciting. But trying to find what to talk about, you know. But McGill, I mean, he's right back there with Jonathan Oates. As I was saying, you know, he is driving it in much deeper than Oates is. I'm noticing McGill is sliding a little bit, which I can only imagine is really hurting his tires. Now, again, we don't know what the strategy here looks like. I'm thinking, you know, no cautions, 33 laps, you cut it in half. You pit at about 15 or 16. I'm sorry, that's not half, but 16 or 17. Yeah, yeah.
The math nerds won't be happy with you. Yeah, the math nerds will not be happy with you for that. But you see right here, McGill peeking to the inside, couldn't quite get the nose in. Oates able to close the door. We've got more issues out back yet again. It's Brett Bennett. This is the Brett Bennett low light reel race as he spins again, now back to 21st.
Isn't it funny, though, in racing, when you can have your highest of high moments in the very next time you race, it's one of the lowest of lows. And by that, yes, Brett Bennett has won a league race. It's not on JCTV. Oh. Brett Bennett did win a league race yesterday.
Before we get to that, Caden Atkins goes around again in the horseshoe, but you mentioned it.
And no, not everybody crashed either. I'm in, so.
And we will shout out Brett. We'll give him a little shout out. You see there, Ricky Hudgens off on the side by him. But yeah, Brett Bennett, a race winner in a league last night. His first career league win. And it's probably going to be his only career league win. That we'll see. But, of course, you mentioned it wasn't any kind of fluke victory. It was a pretty dominant performance. A good call on his end. Michael Kruger was the race leader, decided to pit. Brett staying out and was able to stretch that all the way to victory with the help of a bunch of cautions, obviously. But we won't talk about that. They don't ask Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s legitimacy of his Daytona 500 win because he won under yellow. So... but Brett Bennett, a race winner last night. Congrats go out to our JCTV colleague and good friend. You see in the background there, Michael Thorpe Jr. going wide through 1 and 2, trying to make him some ground and get in this battle for this top spot, trying to get up there. But right now, just kind of on an island by himself in this 4th position.
Yeah, that was a full send into the corner. Definitely hurt his exit a lot. But
Sean Kissany loops it in the international horseshoe. Pacheco, Enriquez, and Scarborough got to check up to not hit him. I went back to look because Noah Mayuri was going slow, and then, of course, right then, that's when we see another driver loop it. So we'll see what happens. Right here, Austin J. McGill drives it deep on the exit of the infield section. He is right on the back bumper in the draft here as they make their way through oval 1 and 2.
Yeah, this could get interesting going into the bus stop. Who's going to give? McGill's looking low. He backs out. Smart move out of McGill. I mean, it's an opportunity, but he knows it's not the time.
Back from Jonathan Oates is on board. He continues to lead the charge. The current time situation shows that we should complete 33 laps of racing here tonight. Sean Kissany having more issues on the racing surface. Right here, you see McGill gonna go for it there, trying to get there. Couldn't quite get the nose under. Now he does. Here comes McGill trying to go for the race lead. Oates goes wide. Here goes McGill. Side by side as they go through the infield section. McGill will clear. Now Austin J. McGill assumes the race lead.
McGill was using a whole lot of brake there. You can watch, look at these brake rotors get red, and I saw McGill's just, I mean, bright red. Oates was red, but not as red there entering turn one. McGill, I mean, he's just abusing those brakes right now. I gotta imagine, I mean, is this gonna hurt him?
Only time can really tell on that one. I have not seen really much of an issue about being harder on the brakes causing any issues here, but we'll have to see. But we're going to see a different view now of this race. Instead of Oates being out front, now he's got the carrot on a stick in front of him. He's got something to chase now. With Austin J. McGill taking the race lead from him, we'll see what he can do as the chaser instead of the chasee. But right now, Noah Mayuri looks like, or actually Michael Walls, last week's winner, had an issue on the exit of the infield section. Now back to 12th right now, but back rolling. Darren Roy, of course, as well, had an issue in the horseshoe. He is slow. We've had one driver leave this race. Kate Nackings, 24th, currently out of the race now. Ricky Hudgens, Don Blazier are both a lap down on pit road. And Brett Bennett currently 1 second, or a minute 4, excuse me, back behind the leader. Don Blazier right there is 22nd, a lap down, right behind Brett Bennett. The battle right now up front, still for the lead. Oates is still there with McGill, still keeping pace.
Yeah, I think McGill backed it down now that he's got the race lead. I mean, he started to pull away, but then entering that bus stop in the back, Oates got a big run. And I'm wondering if McGill just backed it down from there.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't really
look like... I was just going to say, he doesn't look like he's driving it in anymore. I mean, he's... he doesn't have, well, a rabbit to chase. He's got the lead.
Yeah, no need to push when you are currently holding the top spot. That's likely what McGill is doing, just kind of taking it easy. Not pushing as hard as he was before. But I think Oates is also saving. He's not really pushing as hard as he could be, I don't think, either. As he still kind of stays consistent with McGill. That last time by, it looks like the fastest car was McGill, though. So we'll see. It looks like Oscar Enriquez had a bit of a slip-up. Now Jake Scarborough will go by for 13th. Oh, you see in the background spinning is Sean Kissany. Into the grass in the Western Horseshoe. Trying to navigate his way back to the racing surface. See Doug Denise go by him. Kissany is having a rough go at it here tonight so far. Right now, Austin J. McGill leading the field. Jonathan Oates chasing him down in second.
Oates is not going anywhere. He is keeping McGill right there in sight. And Luke Nupp, I mean, he's holding on pretty well too. You got these 3 cars really close to each other. Nupp hasn't been pushing at all.
I'll tell you who's not keeping up pace right now, Michael Thorpe Jr. in 4th. Dropping back, now in the grasp of Ethan Fonseca Moreno in this battle for 4th. Back in the background, looks like Michael Kruger also about to put pressure on Blaine Sparling for the 6th position. A little hot driving it in there on the back bumper of the 59. Kruger has to get out of it. That'll open the door for Dylan Parker to try to make a move here. But up front, heading towards that backstretch bus stop. Shoot their way right out of turn number 4 there. And as they make their way into this infield section of the road course, you can just see top 3 have really pulled away from Michael Thorpe Jr. now.
It's one thing that we missed, Dawson. As these 3 were going down the backstretch just before the bus stop, McGill hit the wall. Just brushed it a little bit and looped up. Keyed up, said, "Did he hit the wall?" Jonathan Oates said, "Yeah." And then McGill said, "Yep." And I couldn't tell if he said, "I'm done" or "I'm dumb." But it doesn't appear that he's done. Because, I mean, he's still leading. He didn't bring it down pit road. But a little mistake there out of that 21. Lost to Jay McGill.
It appears that rather he's just dumb. Not that he's done. As he continues to lead here. Not losing time to Jonathan Oates in second. Still have an estimate of about 33 laps in this race. It's been a back and forth pretty much between these 2 drivers, Austin J. McGill and Jonathan Oates, in this battle for the race lead.
And I'll let it be known, I don't think that Austin J. McGill is dumb. He is my pick to win as well, and I stick by it.
And we'll see how it all shakes up. Across the stripe will be the beginning of lap number 11. We've still got about 40 minutes left in this race. Don't go anywhere here on JCTV. We're just going to take you on a little side-by-side break. We get a break from the action, but it's Austin J. McGill leading this field. JCTV side-by-side. You won't miss a beat of the action.
Hey man, you cut me off back there. What you gonna do about it? Oh man.
Can you feel it? The taste of Coca-Cola when the race
All right,
is
fine.
over.
Are we good? We're good.
Huge mistake.
Kevin Harvick.
Choose Mobil 1 Synthetic instead. It protects engines better than conventional motor oil.
Really?
Seriously. It keeps engines in excellent condition for over 250,000 miles.
You expect me to believe a paid spokesman?
Well, how about an unpaid spokesman?
Not getting paid for this?
You are.
Get 250,000 miles of protection. Upgrade to Mobil 1.
So what do you got in that loader, Tony?
Just did my mail run, Chase. 3,100 pounds of letters from the best fans on earth.
You have this many fans.
Yes.
You sure some of this isn't hate mail?
Nope. All fan mail.
This one's about weight loss.
That's not mine.
It has your name on it.
I'm a popular guy.
It says VIP membership renewal.
Not cool to read other people's mail, kid.
This isn't fan mail.
Mahindra, the official tractor of Tough and Stewart Haas Racing.
So, Ginny, what makes you an awesome different driver?
Well, there's a lot to it. Man, it's a rush. So what makes home selling with OfferPad awesome different?
Oh, so much. But with OfferPad, it's a lot more home selling stuff and a lot less bumping into people.
Well, I don't Don't bump into anyone.
Home selling with OfferPad is awesome different. Request your free cash offer today at OfferPad.com.
Man, we're door to door. I have the better car, fresher tires. I drove it in deep, and you missed it. I know you wanted to watch it, but you got throttled by your data plan, and it slowed you down. You hit your data limit streaming all that techno music, didn't you? I mean, really? Man, you've got some questionable taste in music.
Switch to Sprint, the only network with truly unlimited data.
Well, they're letting fans design cars again.
Aliens. I know they're out there. So with Toyota's help, I designed a car to welcome them with open arms.
Cool car. I was abducted once. Oh, you're back.
Will they make contact? I don't know, but I want to believe.
What will you design? Enter for a chance to win at Sponsorfire.com.
Thank you.
Whoa! Dad, where'd you get that?
Oh, you won't believe what just happened.
Don't tell me you got the last Diet Dew.
Yeah.
I love the taste of Diet Dew. What do you want for it? Deal.
Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah, it tastes that good.
Hey, hotshot. Meter's running.
Fly the blimp, too much hot air. Race announcer, same thing there. Wouldn't get a word in with you know who. Just get down on the track and do what you do. Slide down in my seat, pull the belts tight. Get up on the wheel and let the dust fly. Never know how. Never know how.
As a Grand Prix world champion in triathletes, I know how important it is to stretch before any competition.
I also know it's important to stretch. Mobil 1's advanced technology lubricates our engines.
Yes, that is true.
And my joints.
Oh my word.
Soda cookies. You want one, Jensen?
Just about 35 minutes to go here in the Kevin Conway Grand Prix for Season 11 of the Slide Job Racing League in the return to the Daytona Road Course. It's still Austin J. McGill leading the field here. Jonathan Oates still in hot pursuit. So we welcome you back to the action here at Daytona. It has been a fun one, that is for sure. McGill still has Oates and Nupp. Right behind him, we have trouble out back. Jake Scarborough ran it wide in turn 1, drops back to 14th. Pulling off pit lane right there in 20th is Brett Bennett. Currently a lap down, but just coming off pit road, getting some fresh tires. Maybe see if he can make something work with it here on lap 14. 3 drivers currently out of the race: Sean Kissedy, Ricky Hudgens, and Caden Atkins. Those are your drivers that have retired from tonight's event. Josh, it's still all right there for the top 3. No one's really been able to kind of pull away and cement themselves as the top dog.
Yeah, I'm wondering, McGill, he really burnt his tires up. It looked like, to me at least, that he did to get past Oates. And I'm wondering if, Oates and Nupp are just riding right now. They know they have a pit stop coming up soon. It's actually, we might have a battle right now between the two.
Yeah, Oates making a move to the outside, trying to get to the race lead. Let's see if he can cross him over here through one. Can't quite set up the run. Maybe he got it here. Here he comes to the inside. Jonathan Oates going for the race lead. Heading towards the horseshoe, still side by side. Who gets by? McGill sliding the brakes a little bit. Oates going to try to cross him back over. That's allowed Luke Knupp to catch up to this battle too. Further back as well, battle happening. Dylan Parker got by Michael Thorpe Jr. Ethan Fonseca Moreno is right there as well. And here comes Jonathan Parker now passing Michael Kruger, at least trying to get by him here. We saw these two battling last season, Season 3 of the In the Pits News Truck Series for the championship. Parker, of course, prevailed there. Of course, Friday night prevailed to win the NAOR DI9 Designs Championship. Currently the only driver to have won all the titles possible thus far on JCTV, and sliding the brakes a little bit there, trying to keep off Michael Kruger. Currently 9th still, not able to fully rebound from that incident earlier with Dylan Parker.
Yeah, so I wasn't exactly watching this battle for the lead. I had been watching that battle back there for 7th. And I heard McGill say, what was that drive off the bus stop? And I was watching the gap. And I mean, just see the gap. I mean, it is closing. Not as fast as it was that last time by. But right now, I'm thinking McGill is just not having it on these long straightaways. I think right now, the infield section is the strongest section. Could be a little bit from the damage of hitting the wall. That is hurting his high-speed areas of this racetrack.
I'd say more than anything, it's going to be the tires. If you can't put the power down on exit and get a good exit, it's not going to help you get fast on the straightaway. So you're not going to have as good a launch, you're not going to get as good of a boost, and you're not going to really have a good enough run to maintain. If Oates has been saving his tires better than McGill, then by the time McGill gets off the corner, he's struggling to launch. Oates is right back on it, and he is getting the gas faster than McGill, and that's what's going to help him. We see some pit stops happening. Gabe Cazzola, Michael Walls pulling on pit road this time by, so expect to see the leaders coming here soon. It's about that time you mentioned, Josh, about splitting this race. Enriquez in pit road as well now.
Yeah, we are 29 minutes and 42 seconds through this race, so I mean it's about halfway. By the time McGill gets there to pit entry, you know, it could be this time or next time if they decide to cut it right in half.
We'll see Oates still right there with McGill. Dylan Parker in 4th, 11 seconds back of this battle for the lead. He's going to need a lot to try to catch back up and get back in this fight. You see Oates trying to get to that bottom there of McGill. He'll get to the inside now, side by side as they head to the front straightaway at the start-finish line. Jonathan Oates maybe led that lap. McGill, though, late on the brakes, will take back this race lead. Oates going to try to cross him over.
And it was Oates that led that lap that time by. But McGill just so strong on the late braking here. And, you know, these are fixed setups, but you are allowed to mess with brake bias. And I can't, it's so hard for me to tell you what these guys are doing to their brake biases, but my guess is McGill has been playing around with his to allow him to drive it in a lot deeper than Jonathan Oates is.
Jonathan Parker making his pit stop, getting ready to pull off pit road, pulling out now. Currently scored in the 10th position after that pit stop. See how things cycle out for that 48 machine. It's still McGill and Oates inseparable right now.
I think if you're McGill, you pit right here. And Oates very well might follow strategy or try to run another lap with just a clean track ahead to try to put some time.
Well, they've got traffic ahead. Don Blazier is ahead of the leaders right now, currently running right up ahead of them. We'll see what they do here as they come down to the front straightaway.
Not looking.
Neither will peel off this time, but notice the difference. Last go around, McGill's on the outside, Oates to the inside. They swap positions now. We'll see how they do entering turn one with a slower car up ahead. It's going to cost Oates. He has to back it down a little bit. McGill maintains, but here comes a launch by Jonathan Oates, going for the lead once more.
On the other end of things, you know who did pit?
Luke Nupp.
This might help him out.
This could be the call. Dylan Parker behind him. We'll see what happens, how they shake out when they peel off of pit road. Will pitting there be the right call? It'll be determined here. About another 18 or so laps. Make it about 28 minutes. We will see if this was the right call to pit there rather than staying at that extra lap like McGill and Oates are doing. But in Luke Nupp's position, I mean, you weren't really gaining, but you weren't losing, so might as well try some different strategy and see if it maybe works. Get up to speed a lap earlier, and maybe that can be your ticket to getting up there and fighting for this win.
It is so nice to see races that go caution-free, to see the strategy that drivers can play. And one reason I love road course racing. See what these guys do if they decide to come in this time. Yeah, McGill's going to do it. Oates stays out another lap.
So as McGill pits, Jonathan Oates stays out that time. Will that be the winning call?
Into his box cleanly. Off and away. And actually, pit road speed lasts forever here. It is not until you come out and pretty much blend back in. Luke Nupp is right there on McGill's tail.
That turned out to be a good call so far, at least in terms of Luke Nupp's decision to pit the lap earlier, to be there with Austin J. McGill. Now he'll just have to execute these laps, but right now the time is showing we should have about 15 laps to go. Jonathan Oates making his way onto the backstretch now, heading for the bus stop. Expect this 073 to pit road this time by.
Luke Nupp struggled there, actually went through the grass in the Western Horseshoe. Slid. Car kicked out just a little bit. Went through the grass. And Oates is coming in.
As Oates pulls it to pit road, we see Blaine Sparling. The last car's out on track that needs to pit. Another driver who has yet to come down pit lane is the 8 machine of Noah Mayuri. Yet to come down pit lane and get service. Blaine Sparling going to stay out an extra lap to lead a lap. As long as he has enough to make it to the end, we'll see what this 59 can do. Currently holds an 8-second lead over Austin J. McGill.
And McGill is gonna be out front of Oates. So is Luke Nupp.
The strategy worked more so for Luke Nupp than it did for McGill. Able to get out in front of one of the two cars he had to battle with. Looking at the pit times too, I mean, Oates had a faster time on pit road. They had even times in the box, but Oates was the fastest of the three. A 45.9 on pit road compared to a 46.1 for McGill and a 46.3 for Luke Nupp. So the fact that, you know, Oates comes out third out of this whole group is kind of shocking.
It all comes down to being on the tires. A couple laps longer. New tires, that is.
Keeping watch for race leader Lane Sparling to pull it down pit road here soon. But Sparling going to stay out another lap here. But
Jonathan's going to drive to the inside of Luke Nupp. Nope, just going to let him have it. No pressure. No fight.
Slow car ahead of the leaders right there. I believe that's Don Blazier. Indeed it is. That 23 is missing the front end and the back end here. You can see, looks like he just ran wide right there and spun it and just hit the inside wall right in front of race leader Blaine Sparling. Definitely a scary situation. Seen back in the background, looks like Jonathan Parker battling with Ethan Moreno and Michael Kruger. Kruger hard on the brakes to not take out Parker and to not hit Moreno as they are still battling. Just ahead of them is 6th place Michael Thorpe Jr. A heated battle between these four cars ensuing now.
These are drivers that really respect each other. Drivers that are always racing around each other and racing hard, too.
So right now, Austin J. McGill is currently second. He will cycle through as the leader. Once Blaine Sparling pulls to pit road, he has about a second advantage over second place Jonathan Oates. How will things shake out here? At the conclusion of this race, Oates is going to have to really start reeling in race leader Austin J. McGill. Of course, last lap, though, was his pit lap. This is his first up-to-speed lap he's had on the racetrack. We'll see what he can do this time around.
Blaine Sparling down pit road.
Now hand the lead over to Austin J. McGill. 0.6 of a second is the gap. You see Oates driving it in deep there into turn one, trying to get back up some lost time. He is right there within 0.6 of a second. Oates said, not so fast, Austin. We got a score to settle between each other. And we're going to see up ahead, Darren Roy off the track right ahead of the race leader. Is going to get it back in the grass and keep it down there as they all go by. That's going to be the other trouble for these race leaders. Any kind of issues for anybody ahead of them is really going to stack them up. As we look back, Jonathan Parker just about cleaned out. Michael Thorpe Jr., here comes Moreno and Kruger now again.
Yeah, Kruger had to be hard on the brakes to clean out Moreno there. Moreno having checked up not to get into Parker.
This battle for 5th. It's almost reminiscent of Season 2 of the In the Pits News Truck Series at the Charlotte Roval. We had that battle between Justin Durant, Brett Bennett, and Alonso Chicano. It just feels that same way. But up front, battle for the lead, heating up again. Oates is right there in the background, closing in on Austin J. McGill.
Oates was actually looking to the inside of McGill just before the chicane. tucked back into line, braked a little earlier. He knows McGill's not just going to pull over and let him have it. But you see McGill is trying to break the draft by going low there.
Just under 19 minutes to go. The estimation of that is 11 laps left in the Kevin Conway Grand Prix. Oates faster that time again. He's still right there with McGill. Oh, the back bumper! Contact made in the Western Horseshoe! Oates backing off, going to give him space. Meanwhile, back in the back, looks like Jonathan Parker dropping again to Michael Kruger. Moreno through the 6th, going to battle with Michael Thorpe Jr. for that 5th spot now. Back up for the lead. McGill still maintains. Oates trying to get a run in the corner.
So Kruger locked it up. He was trying so hard not to make contact with Jonathan Parker, but they did make contact. That allowed Kruger to get around Parker. Parker said over the radio, okay.
Yeah, Parker's got the mind of an elephant. He doesn't forget very easy. So he may end up getting back and getting some revenge. But you see right here, look at this run that Oates got through the corner. Side by side, they go again, heading to the start-finish line. 10 laps remain here at Daytona. McGill's going to slide. McGill's going to miss turn 1. Jonathan Oates to the race lead. That might be the race-winning move.
Looping up, just said good win, Oates. There's still 10 to go.
Plenty of time for anything to happen, but now a 2-second advantage for Jonathan Oates over Austin J. McGill, who made that costly mistake entering turn 1. Take a look back at the replay. It was a hard battle entering turn 1 between the two. But you'll see it right here. McGill locks the brakes up, and he runs it wide. That very likely could be a move that hands this race win to Jonathan Oates. Of course, in his debut race, this season has been the season of first-time winners here in the Slide Job Racing League. You saw at the start of the season, all kicked off with Zach Probst winning the summer shootout. Jeffrey Armistead winning the iRacing.Funny 250. Then how about Ben Bafford with his win at Auto Club. And then we saw Nick Miller pick up the win at Darlington just a couple weeks ago. And now Jonathan Oates looks to do so in his debut to pick up a victory. He's got about 9 laps, make it 15 minutes for him to claim a race victory.
It's JCTV's no stranger either to seeing drivers claim victory in their debut in a series either. I've seen it plenty of times throughout the years JCTV has been around. And watching this battle between Moreno and Thorpe, and Moreno actually just got super loose. Slid off of 2, I think, might be the corner. I don't know. It's the little S-ish, I guess you could say, between turn 1 and the International Horseshoe.
I know what you're talking about, Josh, and yeah, that is technically a turn 2, I would believe. And yeah, watching this battle between Moreno and Thorpe, still right there. No one really gaining any advantage over the other. They're still kind of nice and tight together, separated by just under a half a second. Moreno looking to crack that top 5 and see if he can't go and try to contend, or at least get the top 5 is the big thing. There's really no contending for a position. Michael Thorpe Jr. is 16 seconds back of the driver that is on a lonely island right now in 4th, Dylan Parker.
The other hand, just behind them, Michael Kruger and Jonathan Parker. Jonathan Parker has caught back up to Michael Kruger.
We'll see what happens.
Car
here.
legs back.
Yeah, we'll see what he does when he gets to him. All over the place. You see, locking it up. Getting to the inside of Michael Kruger to driver's right. Followed by Kruger, but they're side by side as they barrel towards the kink.
Yeah, Kruger's going to back out of it.
So move Jonathan Parker up to the 7th spot. Luke Knupp in 3rd. He is Austin Jim McGill just up ahead of him. McGill back 4 seconds to race leader Jonathan Oates. This point is out for a Sunday drive on a Tuesday night here at Daytona. Now I don't know if you're noticing what I'm noticing here, Josh. Notice what we see here. It's sunlight. Looks like we ended up having ourselves a night-to-day race. Kind of opposite of what we usually see here. Oscar Rodriguez, you saw in that shot as well, just went wide through the International Horseshoe, dropped back to 15th. But also, too, Michael Thorpe Jr., Ethan Fonseca, Moreno have been swapping the spot back and forth a little bit. They are battling hard for this top 5.
You know, Dawson, I'm so glad you mentioned that because I could have swore this race was dark when it started, and I was noticing it wasn't dark. I looked at in-sim time. It is just after 7:30 a.m. in-sim time, and back to this battle between Moreno and Thorpe. Thorpe just ran wide, and that brought Moreno right back into the picture. Moreno's going to drive it in.
Oh, contact! Thorpe gets ran wide. Moreno makes it by for 5th. Thorpe trying to get back over, crosses him back over to driver's right. Can't get the run. Thorpe entering this race 2nd in the point standings. Just behind him is the guy 3rd in standings, Jonathan Parker. Thorpe's going to drive it in on the inside of Moreno here. And he's going to drive it up into him. Contact! Around goes Thorpe and Moreno! Moreno, Thorpe go around. And just like that, Thorpe goes from battling for a top 5 to suddenly he's in a spot to have to try to hang on to a top 10. Can't imagine the driver chat's going to be very civil after that one, Josh.
Not a single word has been said.
We'll see after that incident, but Jonathan Parker, the benefactor of it all, slots into the 5th spot. Of course, taken out early on, incident with Dylan Parker. Now they find themselves 4th and 5th. Jonathan is currently 20 seconds back of 4th place. Dylan Parker, so really not going to be able to contend for anything better than where he's at now. Just have to settle in for a top 5, but another good run here tonight for Jonathan Parker will catapult him to that 2nd place in the standings. Be his 5th top 5 of the season if all things hold true and he stays here. Only driver with more top fives. The race leader is the points leader, Luke Nupp.
And the one thing that's so hard to believe is that, you know, Jonathan Parker, the defending champion, he's actually running so wide there in the International Horseshoe. But the defending champion, Jonathan Parker, tremendous season last season. I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but claimed so many race victories. We're only a couple races away from the playoffs starting. You know, there's a big old goose egg in the win section, or the win column, for Jonathan Parker this season. You know, he's hungry. He's hungry to get that win.
We'll see. Last season, he only had one win before the playoffs began. Then he won the playoff opener, and then he won the championship. So 3 wins on the season. For Jonathan Parker, but it was enough to earn him a title. 6 top 5s, 11 top 10s out of the 16 races that he ran in. Currently trying to defend his championship. Hasn't been the most successful of runs. I mean, you know, second in points and 5 top 5s currently is what he'll be at if this race concludes like this. That's nothing to laugh at, nothing to sneeze at, but it's at the same time, it just doesn't feel like it's been as dominant of a run as we've expected out of Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, has had a great season. You know, being consistent, and you know, I can name a certain opportunities where the way these playoff races work, where you don't even have to win a race, and you can still have a shot at a championship. Matt Crafton in the Truck Series actually successful with winning the championship after not winning a single race a few years ago. Ryan Newman, runner-up in 2014. He was so close to getting the championship, but it was, of course, Kevin Harvick. Of course, we're comparing real life here to sim racing, but, you know, the format that you see, it is very possible. And Parker has had one of those seasons where it's just been a great season overall, just yet to finish in that first position.
Well, as we approach the 6-minute mark, estimate of 4 laps to go for race leader. Oh, Jonathan Oates! Jeffrey Armistead! Oh my goodness! Just about wiped out. Oates was able to miss him. He'll merge back onto the track here. Holy mother of Mary, Christ, and Joseph. I don't think Oates was very happy seeing that happen in his rearview mirror.
So I heard an engine blow, and I believe it was Brett Bennett's. I don't know where he was at compared to where the rest of the drivers were. But at first, with Oates being slow as he was, I thought it was Oates for some reason. And I was really confused.
That would have been Brett Bennett.
But it actually, it was Brett Bennett.
All right, well, Brett Bennett, the engine blowing award goes to Brett Bennett. Congratulations, Brett, blowing your engine here in this race. My incident counter is not updating for this race, which is kind of sad. But I would assume that 76 is probably well up there in terms of incident counts. The past couple laps before just recently, McGill and Nupp were faster than Oates, but that time by much slower. So Oates just needs to put together 3 more laps to punch his ticket to victory lane here at Daytona. Just kind of looking back through some of their stats, you know, the guy who's currently in second right there, Austin J. McGill, still yet to find victory lane in the Slide Job Racing League. And it looked like he had a really good shot to win it here tonight, holding off Jonathan Oates. But that issue he had through turn 1 really reared its ugly head at him. Is going to bite him in his rear, putting him 3 seconds back of the race lead right now. And going to have to settle for another bridesmaid finish. Of course, he did that earlier. He did that last week, actually, excuse me, at Nashville Superspeedway. With just that, it was his first career second place finish. So he'll go back-to-back for top 2s. Definitely not what he wanted to have happen, losing another race here.
Build momentum, though.
Yeah,
and
it's
good momentum to have.
Yeah, because it could easily lead to a win down the line for him. Just kind of looking at the racing surface to see what we've got going on. We've got 3 cars ahead of race leader Jonathan Oates right here in the bus stop. I do not believe that he will catch them. At the same time, they are running a minute 55 and a minute 52 second laps, so it's also very likely that they could be caught by race leader Jonathan Oates. It's a matter of just getting around those cars as cleanly as possible here for the SO 73. Time estimate right now, 2 minutes and 36 seconds. It should be 2 laps to go this time by. Here, I'm backing it down, throwing it up. You see smoke up ahead. Backed it way down. The exit at turn 1. You see McGill trying to push hard, sliding it around a little bit. The tire's just so worn out for Austin J. McGill. Can't quite get the power down that he wants to get to try to catch up to this 073. He is pushing with everything he's got, but it's just not going to be enough. And Luke Knupp's going to have a very sad ending to this race. I mean, he's had a really successful run, but the sad thing about this all, it is going to end his top 2 streak that he has had going on for the past couple weeks here.
Where did you finish last week?
Oh, 10th. I'm sorry. Anyways, he had a good streak going. He's going to get back into the top 5s. Of course, his worst finish so far this season was 11th in the season opener at Daytona. Josh, I wasn't in the booth, so it's not canon. It didn't happen. That's just how that works.
Right, I forgot about that.
Which also allows for me to say that Michael Walls did not get a victory. So there you go. But see, Jonathan Oates making his way through the bus stop. Doug Denise just up ahead. A slower car currently in 15th for that number 40 machine. As they come through 3 and 4 this time, this should be the white flag for Jonathan Oates. 46 seconds on the clock. We'll see what it is when he reaches the start-finish line. Indeed, it will be the white flag. 1 more lap to settle it here. And you see Doug Denise just up ahead of race leader Jonathan Oates, who's got a 3-second gap to manage over second place Austin J. McGill. And I think McGill had another issue in turn 1, slow through the exit. It's going to pretty much all but do it here, barring any chaotic circumstances with Doug Denise ahead of race leader Jonathan Oates. He gets by the 40. Through the kink for the final time. He's got a battle up ahead between Oscar Enriquez, and I believe that is Gabe Cazzola. These two going to try to battle for this 13th spot. Another battle on track. Luke Knupp has been caught by Dylan Parker back in the background here. So keep our eyes on this one. But right now, watching Jonathan Oates exit the infield road course section onto Oval 1. Four seconds is the gap between Jonathan Oates and what would be second place Austin J. McGill. He'll become a 2-time runner-up 2 weeks in a row. McGill unable to capitalize after getting out in front of this 073 after the pit cycles. But at the end of the day, our fourth first-time winner here in Season 11, rounding his way through Oval 3 and 4. Jonathan Oates will add his name to the list of winners in the Slide Job Racing League. He wins the Kevin Conway Grand Prix. And Gabe Cazzola there. Oh, Oscar Enriquez! He's going to finish 14th, but it looks like he has nosed it into the wall. See Dylan Parker spinning around, but right now we got a battle for 6th. Blaine Sparling chasing down Michael Kruger.
It's not going to be enough.
To the stripe.
Will get 6th.
Yeah, Kruger will score 6th. Sparling 7th. Battle here for 11th. Coming down to it between Noah Mayuri and Jake Scarborough, though. This one might be a close enough battle. Once these guys cross the start-finish line, we'll take a look back and see what happened to Oscar Enriquez that put him in the tire barrier, and we'll score him 14th. But coming down the front straightaway, Scarborough does not have enough. Noah Mayuri will score 11th place. So we'll take a look back at what happened to Oscar Enriquez in his battle with Gabe Cazzola. It's them taking the white flag here. This is the battle for 13th. Oh, Enriquez just completely missed the corner. I know Oscar likes to goof off, but Josh, you think maybe he pulled a Mark Martin there and didn't realize it wasn't the checkered flag, it was the last lap?
You know, I'll be honest, I wasn't paying attention there. I had my sights on something else. A little bit earlier in the race, if you remember, Ethan Fonseca Moreno and Michael Thorpe Jr. were battling. A little bit of contact, and they both spun. Moreno, of course, finished ahead of Thorpe, and there was some post-race contact between the two. So 34, clearly not happy with the 43.
Got our eyes on it here, Josh, and yeah, Thorpe looks like he is, yeah, there it is right there, just cleaning him out after the checkered flag. Michael Thorpe Jr. not happy. Of course, finishing in the 8th position just behind Ethan Fonseca Moreno. We go to the front stretch. Burning it down is Jonathan Oates. A 4th different first-time winner here in Season 11. See Luke Knupp celebrating up there with him. A 3rd place run for the 5 machine. And he will disappear into the sky. So with that, we'll take a look at your finishing results for tonight's race. Jonathan Oates takes the victory. First start, first win. Austin J. McGill brings it home second. Luke Knupp in third will stretch that points lead out just a little bit more as his competition. Jonathan Parker finishing 5th. And, of course, Michael Thorpe Jr. back there in 9th. Just take a look at the top 10 back into that second half of the field there. That battle for 13th coming down to it. Oscar Enriquez ends up losing it out after missing turn 1. Gabe Gazzolo takes away that 13th position. Last week's winner, Michael Walls, brings it home 17th. And then Brett Bennett, he has experienced the highest to high yesterday. He'll take the lowest to low today, a 19th place finish, 6 laps down. And there is the rest of your field, your DNFs and DNSs to finish out tonight. So, what do you say we try to dial up some of our drivers on back there and see how they're feeling after that race?
Let's do it.
First things first, we got to dial up our third place finisher in tonight's race. That would be Mr. Luke K. Knupp. Hey, Luke Knupp. The boys have been in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Alrighty, it is now going to go down as, I believe, make it your sixth top 5 finish. Yeah, 6 top 3 of the season. I was going to say, you cut me off there, but yeah, third place run today. The strategy there almost worked out in your favor. You got ahead of Oates, but just weren't able to hold him off. What more do you think you would have had to have done to try to get up there and contend for maybe even just second at that point with the way Oates kind of ran away with it?
I on my outlap, like when Austin was exiting the pits, I was going through turn 1 and I got a little too excited because I saw I was going to pass him and completely locked it up and missed turn 1. And when you lock up your fronts once, you're pretty much killed the rest of the run. And I missed turn 1 so bad that Austin got in front of me. So that was that. And like I got in front of Jonathan, and it just wasn't enough. And my fronts were pretty much killed the rest of the race, which sucks. But all in all, good points today. Probably extended my points lead, which is always a good day. With I think 1 race left until the playoffs. So yeah, all in all, good day.
Yeah, and keeping a streak going here in road course races, you have yet to finish outside of the top 10. Only once finishing outside of the top 5. So keeping that streak going, that trend of doing well here in these road courses, and really kind of solidifying yourself as maybe a championship favorite as this season goes on. What are you looking forward to now as we get ready for those playoffs to start here? Just kind of have a little more pressure on the team as a whole.
I just gotta hit my marks. We got North Wilkesboro and Chicagoland left in the regular season. North Wilkesboro, that's gonna be an interesting one. Just gotta stay clean. I think it's gonna be one of them classic races, if you know what I mean. And then Chicagoland, I finished second last season there, so feeling good about that one. And then all the tracks in the playoffs, I feel really comfortable at. So just got to keep hitting my marks. Really haven't missed a beat. Last week was kind of a downfall or a really bad race for me. I got a speeding penalty the first pit cycle, and after I was leading, and then I got wrecked like 5 times and salvaged a 9th at least, or a 10th, I think. So to get back on the podium and talk to you guys again is always a good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. We love talking to you. We've gotten used to it for a while, pretty much. Kind of broke that chain last week, but right back into it now this week. Who do you want to thank for that third place run here tonight? Teammates, sponsors. What got it done for that number 5 Luke Knupp Racing machine?
For sure, Luke Knupp Racing, iRacing.funny, Moreno Designs for making this awesome scheme, JCTV for all you guys do. Ran an awesome scheme last week, and of course I didn't get on the podium with it, so might be a curse. And then the Coca-Cola Racing family, we got a few cars up there, and just everyone else in the T1A Discord, and Johnny Parker for pushing me at the end.
Alrighty, that is your third place finisher here in the Kevin Conway Grand Prix, Luke K. Knupp. Congrats again, Luke, and hopefully next time we talk to you, it'll be in victory lane and get that trend back going of podium first.
If you pick me next week, or if you pick me in 2 weeks, I'll win for you.
Well, that's the plan. That is Luke Knupp, your third place finisher here. Congrats again, Luke.
Thank you.
And And with that, I believe that will hand it over to Mr. Josh to talk to our second place finisher here tonight, Austin J. McGill. His second straight his second straight runner-up finish, unable to get that victory.
Yeah, hey Austin, great run from you overall. Not the finish position you wanted, but still a really good run. Um, what went wrong for you?
To be honest, I made a silly mistake early on. I kind of scraped the wall coming out of Oval 2, which was just me being a little stupid. But yeah, that just completely killed my straight line speed. I don't know. There's not really much else for me to say. I mean, I made a few silly mistakes, like missing turn 1 a few times and cutting the bus stop by accident, but yeah, I don't really know what else to say.
Early on in the race, even before the race, I really looked at you as a big contender for the race. I actually chose you as my pick to win. And you were doing a great job out there. I was wondering, it looked like you were driving in it so much deeper than everybody else there, and especially Jonathan Oates, able to get the lead away. I was really worried about your tires, and you were able to hold Oates off before the pit cycle started. Um, was there any concern as far as how your tires were there?
Not really. I'd like to think of myself as a pretty big road course guy when it comes to driving the NASCAR cars around road courses. So I kind of have a feel of how hard is too hard, I guess you could say. But um, no, I didn't really feel like my tires were gonna drop off too much. I know with the trucks and the next gens, it doesn't it doesn't sound like it makes sense, but the more wear you put on the tires, the grippier they are. But um, I don't know. I was kind of just trying to hold them off as much as I could, and then obviously I had the damage, so it's easy for him to blow by me. So I was just trying to hold on to second place for as long as I could.
All right. Well, who gets it done for you? Finish second at 21 Machine.
I'd just like to say thank you to Michael Thorpe Jr. I know he had a few incidents this race, but he he really helped me keep it cool. Um, I had a few moments where I got a little hot-headed, and he helped me cool down. So just thank you. I want to thank him, and I want to thank you guys for up here at JCTV putting on a broadcast every week for this league and all the other leagues you guys broadcast. I really enjoy watching them. So just props to you guys.
All right. Well, great run tonight. No, it's not what you wanted, but still a pretty good finish here. So we very close to finishing off the regular season.
Yep, can't be mad with second place. Hopefully, I'll talk to you guys next week.
And it's the worst thing, Dawson, is being a race car driver and having those mistakes. And I mean, you can hear the dejection in his voice, and he still put on a great race, great second place finish there for Austin J. McGill. But you're standing with a much happier man, I'm sure, down in victory lane.
Yeah, to the inverse of that, we go from the dejection that we heard out of Austin J. McGill's voice to now the jubilation of victory lane. Jonathan Oates, winner here in the Kevin Conway Grand Prix. First off, congrats on the win.
Thank you. A lot of fun out there. Had a good time.
Absolutely. Now, of course, we've mentioned, I've known you a little longer than your time, coming into Slide Job here. So I've known your background of racing at these road courses, especially, and how good you can be behind the wheels. So, coming into tonight, I had you kind of pegged as one to watch. You show up, you run well in practice and qualifying, steal the pole at the last second. But then you had that battle with Austin J. McGill throughout the race. Did you think maybe you were going to have to push a little harder to try to get to him there near the end before he blew turn one?
I think it was mostly about management. My goal for the first bit of the race was just to keep the tires on it. I honestly figured it was going to be more of a tire management race than it ended up being. I probably could have pushed all the way from lap one, and I probably would have been okay just with the way I was driving the rears. But I tried to save it a little bit more, and that kind of caught him up with me. He was really fast though, so I think regardless, he would have. I don't think I would have walked away with this either way. He put up a really good race, but in the end, it was just about really just executing, which was something that I've struggled with over the past couple of days. So it was fun to come out here and do that well. Probably the most crucial point of the race was pit stops, just choosing when to go in. I know Luke went a little early. I like to go a little longer at these road courses, so I can have the tire advantage for the end. That seemed to work out pretty well. I had a lot of good grip, especially over Luke and over Austin. So I think I made a good call there, and yeah, came away with the win. Can't complain about that.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You pit the latest of those top three. You're able to make it work there at the end. But, first start, first win, pretty dominant fashion. So, do you have any other races lined up for this year, or are you just kind of a one and done to kind of get ready for maybe season 12?
Well, I've been thinking about running the rest of the season. I signed up for this league because I really like running this Xfinity car, and I wanted a place to run it more often, especially now with it getting the new damage model for the next season. I think it's going to be a lot more fun. So I'm going to try and run out the rest of the season, and then hopefully go for the title next year. Um, it'll depend on how available my Tuesdays end up being. Middle of the week, it's a little bit harder to do, especially with my other kind of midweek commitments, but hopefully, I should be able to come around here more often. Seems like a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. We had fun watching you out there. Of course, you've also got stuff going on. I know Thursday nights for the OSRL League. We got that going on. I think you're going to fire up season 6, I believe, this Thursday with the duels, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but floor's yours. Victory Lane here tonight. Teammates, sponsors, just any kind of shout out. What got that 73 machine to Victory Lane?
Well, it's just that Ford power, Roush Yates engines put on a great car here, backed by Moneyline Real. Really, really happened. Definitely didn't just put a bunch of logos on my car. So shout out to them. Shout out to First Four Racing for the chassis. Somehow passed inspection. Not sure how. It's pretty cheated up. And yeah, yep, that's about it.
Alrighty, that was your race winner here tonight. Jonathan Oates, first career start, first career victory. Congrats again, Jonathan.
Thank you.
And so with that, we conclude another road course event here on JCTV here in the Slide Job Racing League. And something I've kind of noticed a trend here. We really have just mostly, the way these races have played out for these road courses. Once a guy gets out front, gets away. I mean, it's just a matter of the battle for second. It always seems to be it's a battle between two guys early on. Somebody makes a mistake or has an issue, and after that, it's just a runaway for the eventual winners. So Josh, what was your opinion of that race as a whole?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good race. You know, those two, McGill and Oates, they kept each other honest, and it was good, clean, hard racing between the two. You did mention it came down to a mistake by McGill, and that definitely hurt the run for the 21. But overall, I thought that was a really good race, and it's it, it's good to see races like this play out. Uh, a little bit of strategy involved too, because like Oates mentioned, staying out a little bit longer, try to get the tire advantage at the end of a run. Um, Yeah, it very well could have helped.
Yeah, and we saw that tire conservation, uh, in favor of one driver, and then in the detriment of another driver. With McGill pushing so hard, ended up blowing it through turn one there, and ultimately gave the race lead and the win to Jonathan Oates. But that'll conclude race coverage tonight here from the Slide Jump Racing League at Daytona. Coming up after that, I believe next week is the All-Star race. Indeed it is. So we'll see you there next week. Josh, I think you've got something going on next week too.
Yeah, I'm actually going on vacation. I will not be here next week. I will be hanging out in the desert, Phoenix, Arizona, and slowly on my way to Las Vegas as the week goes on. So, some gambling may be involved, but just hanging out with family and enjoying some time off, much needed time away from reality.
Oh yeah, you've got a fun week of relaxation up ahead of you, and I do wish you have some fun. That leaves the booth open for next week here for the main event there for the All-Star race. I believe the conversation point right now is we're going to have Brett Bennett live in the booth, so you will get to hear me make fun of him throughout that broadcast. But also, too, this Saturday, the In the Pits News Truck Series returns from its 2-week hiatus as we get ready to start the quest to crown a champion. We head first to Pocono this Saturday, 80 laps to start the playoffs. Of course, the new playoff format. It is going to be the elimination style we see in NASCAR today. We start off with a round of 10, then the round of 7, the championship 4, but it all kicks off this Saturday night at Pocono. And as mentioned, next week we have Slide Job Racing League All-Star Race, All-Star Weekend. But of course, the Thursday nights have now become populated once more with the Coast to Coast Racing, I believe, this upcoming season. Should be a good one. Yeah.
Coast to Coast Cup Series, they open up their season opener, Daytona, this upcoming Thursday. They had their clash last week at Sobo, which was a really fun race to watch and call. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. I believe their format, Dawson, they're going to do a couple of very small dual races to set the lineup, and then go right into the season opener. So it's going to be essentially be 3 races in one on Thursday night.
But you don't want to miss it here on JCTV. Coast to Coast kicks off on Thursday. But that's it from us here tonight at Daytona. We want to thank you for tuning in as always, and a shout out, Jonathan Oates, your race winner here tonight in the Kevin Conway Grand Prix. And thank everybody for tuning in as always and letting us be a part of your Tuesday nights. Josh Coppernell, this is Dawson Allen signing off from Daytona International Speedway saying so long. Have a great rest of your night.